Hey, thanks for tuning in to KSL Outdoors and welcome to beautiful Lake Powell in the winter. It's our annual guys trip down here to target stripers and walleye. This year we're gonna throw a little twist in it though. We teamed up with our buddy Bob Reed with Up Lake Adventures, and we're gonna take Sadoos all the way from the entire length of this reservoir, one end to the other and back on the shortest day of the year. It can be done. We'll show you here a little bit later. Let's go get in the water. We're gonna head up lake though this morning, and
we'll still freeze, that's okay.
Go check maybe Hanson's, Forgotten, and then maybe even go a little further north of Good Hope, check Tickaboo and Red Canyon, and see if we can find a pod of willing stripers.
It's the best striper fishing I've had for a long time.
Wayne Gustavson, the DWR project leader at Lake Powell, says the health of fish in Powell is the best he's seen in decades. Stripers, bass, and other sport fish are fat, healthy, and robust, mostly due to abundance of threadfin shad. These unusual changes have led to behavioral changes in where the fish live, how deep they are, and how they respond to angling, so winter anglers need to adapt.
Winter striper fishing is all about finding the schools, so we'll do a lot of just searching for striper schools. You can look at your graph and try and find them. You can troll and try and find them, but according to Wayne, you can also just look for birds.
Grebes mark where the shad are. So you go look for a big flock of grebes, and then you just spoon right down underneath the grebes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's 130 feet deep. So you got to spoon up, but speed reeling is the best way. So go to the bottom, speed reel up, stop, spoon, speed reel up, stop, spoon again, and you'll catch a couple of fish.
Not another boat in sight besides our buddies. Kind of cool.
Other boats weren't the only thing we didn't find that morning. We had 4 boats that made the run up lake, about 15 anglers, and even though we could find the fish, we couldn't get any to bite.
Definitely tell the difference between a walleye and a striper. These things got some backs this year, so they fight a lot better than they have in previous years. But you just got to get that in your mind. You're just not going to catch as many.
We finally found a few back in Bullfrog.
Striper, little bigger one than the last one.
Good one. Down at 100 feet, so it's going to take a while. That's a good striper. I can probably lift him in. Nice and healthy and fat. Big old tank. There he is. Nice 3-pound striper. All right. Oh, I will.
Yeah, nice striper.
How'd you catch him?
Caught that on a 3/4 ounce gold cotton Cordell spoon. He's hanging down around 70 feet.
Just out in Bullfrog, huh?
Out in Bullfrog Bay, of all places.
Walleye. Want to get the net, Jeff?
Yep.
We net these. Nice. Not very big, but boy, he's fat.
Sweet.
Well, just like the striper, see how big his belly is. He is just full of shad. So as you can see, every one of these fish we've been catching are spitting up 3 to 4 inch shad. It's amazing they're even eating our lures. They're just so full.
When they're stuffed, it's tough. Usually it's really good in the winter because we're the only ones out there. We just catch all the fish we want. But right now they're a little bit fussy.
Not as many, but quantity down, quality up.
Exactly, and I like that.
Is that on bait?
Yeah.
Yeah, bait.
Welcome back to Lake Powell. To give you an idea of what to expect when fishing for stripers this year, our group of anglers have caught 300, 400, even 500 fish on our winter trip. This year, with about the same amount of anglers and hours spent fishing, we caught about 150.
I got some fish down there at about 140 feet.
Down on the southern end of the lake, same story. Lots of shad and stripers are tough to catch. But Wayne says the striper population in Powell is very stable.
Oh yeah, I haven't had this kind of a tug in a long time. So what Bob and I are doing is we're just kind of trolling around looking for schools of fish, and I found some shad and I could see some marks going through. Obviously in there chasing the shad, some bigger marks. And stripers. So I'm hoping it could be a walleye, but the way it's fighting, it's a striper. So I brought it up about 5 cranks, and then just actively jigging. He hit it once, I missed him, and then he hit it again. There he is. Oh, it's a good looking fish, good striper. Just like the guys were saying, look how fat they are. That's a fairly young fish, but it's gut, it's engorged.
So there's a couple ways to catch these stripers, these walleye this time of year in the winter, and a lot of people it may not know it because it's a totally different technique than you use, say, during the summer. The bait, of course, you can use that any time of year, and it works really good. This time of year, they really seem to like it dead sticking, at least down here in the Bullfrog area. Spooning is the other option. You drop a spoon to the bottom, trying to excite the striper or even the walleye, get it within a foot of the bottom. Every once in a while I like to actually touch the bottom and kind of stir the bottom up a little bit, but just a 2 to 3 ounce spoon. This is actually one that my buddy Brad makes, but you can use anything from a cast master to a cotton cordell. They usually hit it on the way down, so it's pretty key that when you drop the lure down to the bottom and when you're jigging, that when you do jig, you kind of follow the lure down so that you can feel if it stops or if they hit it so that you can hit them back.
Longtime Powell anglers Dana Andrus and his buddy Knob are doing a lot better than us in Worm Creek.
Look at the back on that, the shoulders. How many did you guys catch today?
I think there's about 15 in there. We haven't counted them, but we tried spooning, but we didn't do any good with spoons, so we resorted to anchovies.
Yeah, that works.
With heavy on the resorted.
The Sea-Doos ran amazing. We averaged about 45, sometimes 50 when you're driving. When you're leading.
Yeah, we like to go a little fast.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a lot of fun. Hey, if people want to come and do this with you anytime, it doesn't matter, come down here, Up Lake Adventures.
Yeah, we're a lot of fun, and we'd love to get more people in the wintertime. It's an amazing time on Lake Powell.
Fishing's going to be good this spring, isn't it?
They're going to run out of shad eventually, and then they'll want our lures, I think.
Yeah. Hey, remind people of your website.
It's uplakeadventures.com.
Bob will take you up lake, but he'll bring a paddle.
Yeah, we won't get stuck. We won't get stuck.
Hey, I'm Adam Eagle, KSL Outdoors, reminding you of your family, your friends. Make some memories like the winter solstice run down here at Powell Outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.